But there's a reason. There's a reason. There's a reason for this. There's a reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The big, the wealthy, the real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. They're irrelevant. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media news, all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. You know something? They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back, so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later, because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. And by the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Good, honest, hard-working people continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. At all. At all.
The world is like a ride at an amusement park, and when you choose to go on it, you think it's real, because that's how powerful our minds are. And the ride goes up and down and round and round. It has thrills and chills, and it's very brightly colored, and it's very loud, and it's fun for a while. Some people have been on the ride for a long time, and they begin to question, is this real, or is this just a ride? And other people have remembered, and they come back to us, and they say, hey, don't worry, don't be afraid, ever, because this is just a ride. And we kill those people. Shut him up. We have a lot invested in this ride. Shut him up. Look at my furrows of worry. Look at my big bank account and my family. This has to be real. It's just a ride. But we always kill those good guys who try and tell us that. You ever notice that? And let the demons run amok? But it doesn't matter, because it's just a ride. And we can change it anytime we want. It's only a choice. No effort, no work, no job, no savings of money. A choice right now between fear and love. The eyes of fear want you to put bigger locks on your door, buy guns, close yourself off. The eyes of love instead see all of us as one. Here's what we can do to change the world right now to a better ride. Take all that money we spend on weapons and defense each year and instead spend it feeding, clothing, and educating the poor of the world, which it would many times over, not one human being excluded, and we can explore space together, both inner and outer, forever in peace. Thank you.
What we've done is got so focused, so much self-identifying with the body, the vehicle to experience this reality, that we have forgotten that we are all that is. We are an expression of that if you like, God, that infinite consciousness. And when we lose that understanding that we are that infinite consciousness, that's when we get into trouble, because we start identifying with the small instead of the all. And that's when we get into the little game mentality that leads to conflict and war and I'm right and you're wrong and all this stupidity and this race and that race. It's all so stupid, and it's losing this understanding that we are this infinite consciousness and identifying with the little mentality of the body vehicle. That's what's got us into trouble. And when we reverse that, then the trouble will disappear. We are now in a time, we're at a fork in the road where we can go on the way we have been, believing what people tell us, believing what the authorities tell us, believing what the mainstream media tell us, which is merely what the system tells them to tell us. Or we can take another route of this fork in the road and start to wake up to the true magnitude of who we are and the true nature of reality and how we create it, and therefore how we can be manipulated to create a reality that suits those that wish to suppress us. That's the fork in the road, and a lot of people are going down the route to awakening now, and it's fantastic. I feel just that this is the cusp of enormous change and enormous mass understanding of what's going on. And these next few years, you mentioned in your introduction earlier how glad you are to be alive at this time. Well, so am I, because we are going to see terrific challenges and also terrific change. And in the end, it's going to be a positive change, because humanity is going to wake up from its amnesic state, and it's going to remember who it is, where it is, and the true nature of what it is, which is infinite genius consciousness.
This is your assignment. Extra credit. It goes on all year long. Now, wait a minute. What? What's wrong with this? What's the matter? Yes?
It's like so...
So what? There must be a word to finish that sentence. Someone help her?
Weird. Crazy.
Weird. Crazy.
Hard. Bummer.
Bummer. Hard. How about possible? It's possible. The realm of possibility exists where? In each of you. Here. So you can do it.
That's me. That's me. And that's 3 people. And I'm going to help them. But it has to be something really big. Something they can't do by themselves. So I do it for them. Then they do it for 3 other people. That's 9. Do 3 more.
That's 27, so I'm not really good at math, but it gets big really fast, you know?
All right. A little articulation, please. Yes.
I think it's a good idea.
Sean?
It's stupid.
Adam?
It's the honor system.
People blow off the honor system.
So what? Just because you do.
Well, Trevor, the class seems to think that you've come up with an overly utopian idea. Look that word up in a minute.
Like a perfect world?
Mm-hmm.
So So?
Sometimes I lay under the moon. I thank God I'm breathing. And I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will pay. One day, one day, one day, it's not about win or lose, 'cause we all lose when they bleed on the souls of the innocent. Blood-drenched pavement, keep on moving though the water stay raging. In this maze, you can lose your way, your way. It might drive you crazy, but don't let it phase you, no way, no way. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will pay. One day, one day, one day this all will change. Treat people the same. Stop with the violence, down with the hate. One day we'll all be free and proud to be under the same sun, singing songs of freedom like one day, one day, all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more war, and our children will pay. One day, one day, one all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't wanna fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day,
So why money? Why is money so important? Well, it's said that the love of money is the root of all evil. So what we need to do is not focus on all the symptoms of the problems that everybody's protesting about and occupying and tea partying and all that sort of thing, all the stuff that you hate about that you see in the news, all the tyranny. Let's just describe that topic as tyranny. Rather than focusing on the symptoms of this tyranny, and tyranny itself is a symptom, let's focus on the root. And the love of money is the root. And there's an expression by Henry David Thoreau, which is for every 1,000 hacking at the branches of evil, there is one who strikes the root. Which means you're getting to the root of the problem. If you have a tree of tyranny, if you want to fight that, you don't hack the branches. For every 1,000 hacking at the branches of evil, we don't hack the branches, we strike the root. So if we can unite together and strike the root with voluntary action, peaceful, civil, nonviolent action, we can fix things. As long as we know what the root is and we can focus our energy in the exact same way. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Summit County. You know, if I took a magnifying glass, and the sun will melt the snow, right? But if I put a piece of paper down, it wouldn't burn through the paper. But if I took a magnifying glass and I focused the energy, it would burn a hole in the paper because it's focused energy, right? Well, what if we focused all of our energy and created a better economy in Summit County by reforming the monetary system, by creating our own? Removing our energy from this, removing some of our energy from this corrupt Federal Reserve System, which is just a private bank, it's just some guys, and taking our energy away from that and putting it into this local thing. And then we'll talk to each other and make it better, because it's our thing. It's us. And if we don't like what we're doing, then we'll change it. We'll innovate. We'll, just like any other product, the best entrepreneurs listen to their customers, and this is a product that will keep refining and making it better. There's obviously things that we don't want to do. We don't want to have inflation. We don't also want to have deflation, and that's actually what's going on right now, is more deflation than inflation. So I want to leave that quote as I'm hoping to recruit you to be one more of the people that strike the root of evil, that we can make a better place. You know, they describe this, Breckenridge anyway, as America's perfect ski town. Well, what could make it more perfect than for it and all of Summit County to have its own local debt-free, interest-free monetary system where the local people have taken action to resist some of this globalist tyranny that people all over the world are protesting, right? But we're going to take action and do something about it instead of just complaining like children. You know, that's what children do. Children, because they don't know what else to do, they just cry, right? Well, how about we actually do something like adults? Let's be adults and fix some simple problems. Well, what's the simple problem? We don't have enough money. So the reason we don't is because it's all based on debt. Again, more debt than there is money. So
one of the things about local currency, I think that a lot of people are embracing it because they're starting to understand more about our federal economic system. Federal Reserve notes don't necessarily serve the best interest of local communities, and local currency can help tip the scales back into that mindset.
For some people, if they have river hours and they don't have federal money, we felt like, well, that's fine, we will take them. And it works for us because we have employees here who are willing to be paid in river hours. My name is Mark England, and I'm a registered nurse, and I'm the Director of Clinical Services here at La Clinica. We're not a free clinic, we expect payment, but we also work with people because we understand that people also need to buy food and shelter and other things to keep themselves alive as well.
We don't seek to replace federal money in our communities at all. We are hoping to facilitate more exchange beyond what's possible with federal dollars. It's another kind of faith and another kind of currency, and it's faith in your neighbors, it's faith in local business, it's faith in your region and what it can offer you, and that there is true wealth there to be had.
Not many of us remember that this country was built on decentralized issue of currency. By and large, what it meant was that the various regions of the United States could develop in a decentralized way according to the resources and the skills that they had in a region. And that's what created the great diversity and economic wealth of this country.
Complementary currency, in my definition, is an agreement in a community to use something, just about anything that they can agree on, as a medium of exchange. That's other than national conventional money. The first thing that one has to understand about complementary currencies is that there are as many different rules as you can want to invent. In national money, there's only one. Okay, that's basically the same worldwide. In complementary currencies, different communities agree on different rules. It is complementary because they do not replace national money.
A local currency is something that is issued at the time that it's backed by goods and services in our community. And when people advertise in the River Hours Trade Directory, they actually sign a commitment that says that they are backing in whole or in part that currency with their goods or services that they're offering, and that they're also agreeing to accept in whole or part some local currency. So when you get River Hours, it's backed by people in your community, and that's tangible.
Local currency is a way of encouraging people, inducing people to spend locally. And it's also a way to help people to support one another in the local economy when they maybe do not have any money.
It's been probably a third to half of my income. Whether it was working for people or just the advertising in the directory and getting my name out, or word of mouth has been huge.
Their offerings, their inventory, the money often hits their cash register and then heads straight out of town to the central office in Ohio or wherever. River Hours is hopelessly and happily bound to our community. That value always remains here, and I think people understand that.
Alan Watts in the 50s wrote a critique of the Depression where he said, look, the economy went flat because everybody found there was no money. There's plenty of work needed doing, plenty of people wanted work, plenty of goods in the stores, but nobody could afford them, nobody could pay for them because we had no money. And he said this was like going to build a building. And you've got the materials, you've got the tools, you've got the skills, you've got the drawings, you've got the planning permission, you've got the weather, you've got the will. No inches. Damn. We had a bunch of inches, but then big project on the other side of town, they're using all the inches. We don't have any inches because all the inches went over there. I guess we're out of work. Well, that's exactly what we do with money.
That's my clearest realization, is that there is plenty of work that needs to be done in this valley. And there are all kinds of people who need work to make ends meet. They need work They could contribute to the community. There's all kinds of things to do. So we have the work that needs to be done. We have the workers. What is it that's missing? You know, pieces of paper that say, I'll do this for, you know, in exchange for other goods.
People are short of and hungry for a tangible way to just plug into a sense of community. And that feeling, that attitude, I believe, is accomplished transactionally through using this currency system.
Once they get the concept that, you know, we can spend the money here and it stays here and it helps out our school system and our children and our future and everything, people really get a hold of it again. And the river hours and all that, that's all stuff that need to keep working hard at.
I think it's exciting. I think River Hours isn't going anywhere. You know, I think it's only going to continue to bring people together and to get people talking. I'd like to say right now that it's a huge economic impact, but that's not the biggest impact of River Hours at this point. The biggest impact is people starting to shift into recognizing and realizing that local communities can become more self-sufficient in every way.